My cat ate the poster that was here, like just completely ripped a chunk out of it, and I threw the poster away thinking that, it's damaged forever, I'll just buy a new one eventually. And then I found the piece that he ripped off. But other than that, I've been in quarantine for the past 3 weeks, and I'm going insane. So I've been spending a lot of time on TikTok. I do spend a lot of time on TikTok, mostly because I find it to be genuinely entertaining and fun. And while I do understand a lot of the hate the app gets, for the most part, I'm just vibing. Over the last year and a half that I've had TikTok, I have seen a number of creators get canceled and a lot of weird drama happen. But recently, two creators just decided to implode at the same time, conveniently while everyone was trapped inside their house and had nothing better to think about. For those of you lucky enough to not know, a TikToker that went by Clapdaddie, which, with a username like that, I don't know why we didn't expect this to happen. Clapdaddie was called out for having a lot of conversations with minors that were concerning, that contained sexual content. Apparently he even dated a minor at one point, and all of that is super gross and super weird, and we can all agree on that. But Clapdaddie couldn't just handle being a pedophile. He had to tack something onto it to give it that little extra sprinkle of weirdness. He had to also exclusively go after young trans boys. So a few of these young men did come out and share their stories and screenshots and all the kinds of things you see when an online pedophilia accusation comes out like this. And for the most part, everyone is just 100% on board with saying, fuck that guy, cancel him, take away his account. Which, his account did get taken down the day I'm filming this, like his account is no more. In reality though, I'm not here to talk about Clapdaddie or give you the rundown of the situation, because there are enough YouTube videos about that you could easily find. Just type in Clapdaddie and that is the only result you're gonna get right now. I can't get over Clapdaddie. Why would he call himself that? That's just a pedophile's name. What this video is actually going to be about is something that Clapdaddie said that's gonna be kind of a jumping off point for what I actually wanted to be talking about. In one of his many defenses, he said this. Hey guys, Editing Lee here. I done fucked up because TikTok's been deleted. The video I need with the quote is gone, but someone remixed the quote into a shitty TikTok sound, so here's the TikTok I made with it.
I do not fetishize trans people. Yes, that is my preference. Wish I could synthesize a picture perfect guy. I like trans men, but I do not fetishize.
Alright, cool. Back to the video. So he doesn't fetishize trans people. It's not a fetish. It's a preference. He prefers them. And that did sound weird to me, and a lot of other people did pick up on that. And that's because when you say trans is your preference, that carries a lot of weird implications with it. So I'm just gonna say this, trans isn't a preference. A lot of people who are pansexual or bisexual will talk about something that I personally refer to as levels of attraction. While some people in these sexualities might just have a solid, even split between both male and female attraction, other people, much like myself, have a different percentage, and it can vary depending on different factors and what you're personally attracted to. And for the most part, people who are bisexual or pansexual don't really differentiate between a trans person and a cis person. And that's because there's really no difference from being attracted to a trans man than being attracted to a cis man. There isn't much of a difference in outward appearance after transition. A heterosexual woman might look at me and just see me as a man and potentially be attracted to me, and me being trans doesn't really factor too much into that. Initial attraction is typically based on your outside features, your facial structure, your hair, the clothing options you have, how you carry yourself. The secondary level of attraction is then based on things like personality, and if you're funny, or if you have a lot of knowledge about how horses sleep, don't ask. And the last part of attraction then comes down to sexual preferences, which is, what you got going on down below, if you're catching my drift. And that's typically where people will start to say they wouldn't be with a trans person. And a lot of that just comes down to genital preference, and I do want to make clear there is absolutely nothing wrong with having a genital preference. Some people don't like dicks, and some people don't like lady parts, and that's 100% okay. So if the common understanding is that you're mostly attracted to people based on personality and their outward appearance, so what would make trans be a preference? Do all trans people look the same? Well, no. Much like every other human in existence, all trans people kinda look different. And there also is the added variability of where they are in their transition. If they've been transitioning for a while, they might look more traditionally masculine or feminine, or maybe they look more pre-transition. There's such a wide variety of how they could look that it's really hard to say that I am attracted to trans people exclusively. That's weird. That's mostly just saying you're attracted to people. Let's use Clapdaddie specifically. What do all young trans men have in common that could be a preference? Most young trans people don't have access to medical transition means, which means a lot of them look like young boys. I don't like talking about this. They typically will still have higher pitched voices and more feminine facial features and, well, feminine parts. And a lot of young trans people tend to have a harder time coping with their dysphoria, so essentially you're looking for a vulnerable person unable to transition with the opposite sex's parts, and that starts to make it a little weird. But then let's take this outside of just the Clapdaddie situation. If someone were to say they prefer trans people in general, well, that also sounds a little weird now, doesn't it? Really, when we break it down, the only thing that most trans men would have in common is their parts. Unless they've gone through all of the possible surgeries, really the only defining characteristic of a trans man is what's in his pants. And that also starts to get a little weird, because like I said earlier, typically the last thing people get to when they think about their attraction to someone is the sexual aspect, is the genitalia. So when you say you're exclusively attracted to trans people, what that really sounds like is you're attracted to the juxtaposition between someone's outward appearance and their sexual organs. And that's really fucked up. And that's really why it's referred to as a fetish and not a preference. You can't really prefer that, because all trans people look different except for what's going on in their trunks, and even then you have the added variability of medical intervention. And being attracted to a trans person isn't the weird part. If you think the trans woman in your class is super cute because she has nice hair and a fun laugh, that's perfectly fine. What gets weird is when you say you're attracted to transness as a whole, because then that's where it gets kind of creepy. That's where it seems more like you're attracted to what's in their pants, or the fact that they're easier to prey on. That's the problem. If you're attracted to a trans person, just go for it. Shoot your shot. I believe in you. Just don't be weird. Don't ask them what's in their pants. Please, for the love of God, don't do it. So that was a lot of fun stuff to talk about, but now I'm gonna circle back to Clapdaddie again to talk about how he was able to lure in these young trans boys, and from what I've been able to see, it was playing into dysphoria. What he would essentially do is he would tell them that they looked nice, looked handsome, looked masculine, and while that would be weird to say to a cis boy, to a trans person, that could be validating. That could be something that makes them feel good about themselves, and when someone makes you feel good about yourself, you typically want to talk to them more. And that's why when he said that his preference was trans men, I got even more uncomfortable than I think I should have, because to me that means he more easily is able to manipulate them into reciprocating feelings. If someone needs to hear kind words to feel better about themselves, and you can provide those kind words, then it would definitely be easy to keep them around now, wouldn't it? Another sad thing to think about is that trans people are preyed upon a lot, because there is a fetish for trans people, and ugh. Now, to try to clear my head of all of the horrible things that I've just discussed and all the sad shit, I'm gonna go back on TikTok and just try to clear my head a little bit. God damn
Another
it.
accusation is that I fetishize trans people. I do not fetishize trans people. Yes, that is my preference. I like trans people. I like trans men. But I do not fetishize it.
Why would you cosplay a child predator? Y'all, can we not do this? This is why people think TikTok's bad. This specific thing. You know what? I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you feel so inclined to do that. I'll see you next time, guys. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go cry somewhere.